You're listening to episode 110 of Financial Confidence. Confidence, where we are helping you to make your money, keep your money, and grow your money so you can do the things that you're called to do. I'm your host, Lynn Demons. That's Demons, no demons here, y'all. DEMMONS. We thank you for tuning in for this show where we're going to be riding in our money vehicle today. And that's right. We have a special guest in the podcasting studio. But before I get to him, we're super excited. I'm so excited. I'm about to jump all over the place. But I wanted to share with you guys the guiding principle for this show is Matthew 6:33. But seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. We also implore that you pray over your finances so that you can do those things that you are called to do. So if you will, bow with me. Lord, help us to value things in this world that are really valuable. That's our relationship with you, our lives, and our families. Help make us responsible stewards of our financial resources, and let us trust your holy word. In eternal glory, in thy son Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Yes, guys, we are riding in the money vehicle today, so go get your pen and your paper. Don't forget to like and share, because sharing is caring. Subscribe to this broadcast, because we're going to be dropping some money nuggets for you today that are going to help you to get to the next level. Our special guest today, who's riding in the money vehicle with us, is former American football. I have to say American football because we do have an international audience, but American football player from the New Orleans Saints. Yes, right? Who that? You know what that is? Guys, we want to welcome our also financial expert extraordinaire, Jed Collins, to the show. Jed, how are you?
Lynn, I just, hearing your intro put a smile on my face. So my day is going good. I'm excited to share with your audience and just truly appreciate the opportunity.
Oh, well, we appreciate you for being here and sharing the wealth of knowledge. The nuggets that you're going to be dropping with us today, I'm sure are going to be invaluable. But so our folks can learn a little bit more about you, we want to know about your relationship with money when you were a kid. What was that like? Were there some nuggets your mom and dad actually instilled in you, or something else?
You know, my financial journey began, as you said, as a child. My father was the first in his family to go to college, the first in his family to really get a significant income, where growing beyond and becoming even the idea of growing wealth was the first of his consideration. And we began with a conversation, and this is why I'm on this path and this journey. He became an attorney. He actually ran his own law firm. And what his financial plan was, and the one he passed down to all 5 of his children, was get a good job and avoid debt. Now, while that's not a terrible plan, and it worked well for him and my mom are happily retired, that was where I began to question, you know, isn't there more to this? Isn't money have a deeper language? And it really started to challenge what that relationship I had with money was. And I was a spender. I made money, I spent money. And that was really all we understood of it growing up, until we began to understand what that saver mindset was that putting the little money to the side for some kind of future event. But what I'm most excited about in sharing with people is that saver mindset is a vital and important first step. But the secret of the wealthy, the secret of people who understand and use money to their advantage, is not that they're a spender, because a spender sees it on a day-to-day time frame. Savers, they see it month to month or maybe in a year or two. But this third step of becoming an investor and really putting money to work for you is stepping back and saying, I want to look at my money, my check, and I want to make it go to work for me for the next 10 years and even beyond that, decade to decade. So growing up, we were very money illiterate. To this day, my dad doesn't want to talk to his youngest son about money, but it has been a humbling realization in how little I understood and how much I wanted to begin to know, because we all are stewards. We all are sitting in the driver's seat of our money vehicle. And if we don't decide what direction we are going, then either the government or nobody is going to. And so that's really what drove me to kind of where I am today.
Awesome. So thinking back through that, you said there was a lot of illiteracy there, as goes the majority of the nation, right? When it comes to that. Thinking back to your first job, what was your first job and what did you do with that first paycheck?
So my first job was actually truly in the National Football League. So that American football, growing up, we were student athletes, and my parents definitely emphasized the idea of being a student first. I earned and got a college scholarship, which was a true blessing. And then as I became a rookie in the NFL, I did what most illiterate guys do with their first paychecks. I spent it. I told you I was a spender. Now, my story is I bought an engagement ring, and my wife and I are still happily married after 10 plus years. So it turned out to be an investment. Now, we will look at each other to this day and say, the first check probably wasn't the best idea to put it all on the engagement ring. But that was how I really woke up to the NFL dream and the NFL reality. Was growing, 10, 11 years old, you run out on a playground and you say, I want to be a professional athlete because they're going to become rich, famous, and never have to worry about money again. What I came to realize, even my rookie year in the league, was if you lined up 100 former NFL players, 70% of those 100 would not look like they lived a dream that you were pursuing. And that was a really humbling notion to me, especially I was a no-name, undrafted player. I survived and found success for 7 seasons, which is much longer than I should have. But I woke up after that first paycheck was out the door and already cashed, thinking to myself, if I'm going to become a 30%er, if I'm going to truly walk away from the game of football with something to show what the game has given me, not what the game has taken, I was not only going to have to change my relationship with money, I was going to have to change my education and a lot of my behaviors around money. So that became that first paycheck. It was a beautiful investment in the end, but it was a very poor financial decision in the beginning. And that woke me up to the reality I was going to have to grow up, and not that it was my fault. As you mentioned, financial illiteracy is a crisis and an epidemic in and of itself in our country. And it's not our fault. There's not a class, there's not a course that teaches us the fundamentals about money. And that's actually what I've tried to create in Your Money Vehicle is just that class.
Awesome. So guys, I hope you're paying attention, because he shared to you the methodical steps that he took. He was sharing with you his thinking through this process, from actually cashing that check to purchasing the ring. And I'm sure your wife's happy about that.
She's just,
right? But also now transitioning, because that's ultimately what you did. You transitioned to, how do I now move? And I love the way you said that. How do I move from, not from what football has taken from me, but what it has given to you? And if we think about it in our environmental, our situations, everything around us in some way, shape, form, or fashion is connected to our money. So how do we now take that, use it, become proactive, and now make better decisions with our finances as we're moving forward? So, today you mentioned you looked at the research, and former athletes were not as successful with utilizing their funds. So how do you support today? Do you support athletes in that way? Do you support other people? What are some of the things that you're doing to now help help others transition?
So I want to point out, and it is such an example to view professional athletes. 22-year-old gets $1 million. What does he or she end up doing with it? But really, they are a reflection of any young person in that situation. And so what I get to do today is truly chase my passion and my dream. I left the game of football. I went and worked in wealth management for 5 years, thinking I wanted to become an advisor. When I really woke up to what my passion, what I got excited about, was to become an educator and more of a money coach. And I have my certification of financial planning. I'm a CFP. And what I get to do is teach workshops, courses, and really the fundamentals of money to professional athletes. I have some great relationships with NFL and Major League Baseball, continuing to grow as they, trust in who I am and what I'm doing, and that I'm not trying to sell the athletes a bunch of things. But really, where I began saying my message is for athletes, I was humbled by people who came and listened and went through my workshops and said, this needs to be in every high school in America. And beyond that, it can't just focus on college, because as we know and are being seen every day, college is not the correct choice for everyone. So what about the person who goes and gets one of those, skilled positions and starts to make $62,000 out of high school? What do they do with their money? And so today I get to look at my level 1 course of Your Money Vehicle, which is a book, and it was a great dream to write the book. But my vision was always to make the book an online course. And I'm very excited that July 2020, very close to when we're talking, we are launching that online course. And it's a 10-week program going through 10 different questions around your money. Are you going to end and be a certified financial planner? Absolutely not, nor do I think you need to. But our objective is to get you to use money. And I say use very intuitively, U-S-E. We want you to understand money, U. We want you to S, strategize your money. And we want you to E, be efficient with your money. And with the Your Money Vehicle process, we don't just ask questions. We don't just give you answers, but we provide you character scenarios and, most importantly, the actions to go take once you have the knowledge, because financial education in and of itself will fail. We need financial empowerment. And so where I get to stand today is delivering absolutely to high school and college students. More importantly, I get to deliver to corporations and society as a whole. And now with the scalability of the online course, my mission is to empower 1 million people in these thoughts and ideas that, having lived in a high money scenario in the NFL, having worked in wealth management and seen how the 1% handle these things, there are steps, there are actions to setting up your financial plan that we should all take. And so I'm just going to try to teach you and show you what to do.
Awesome. I love that, guy. So I hope you're paying attention to his choice of words, because he didn't say I have to or I want to. He says I get to. I get to go out and provide this training. I get to, if you listen to the thought patterns and what he's sharing, he also shared some other nuggets. I hope you wrote them down. He said use, understand, strategize, and do that effectively. Efficiently. Either way, right? We get it done. Make sure, yes, guys, I implore you, make sure you're writing down these notes and moving forward with us in this conversation. We're in a money vehicle. We're moving forward. Are you moving forward with us is the question I ask you. So as we continue to talk, I want you to share with us misconceptions, because we all know that there are common misconceptions out there that if we were to just dispel a few of them, people would be able to move to the next level in building that financial wealth plan. So what are some of those common misconceptions that you want to share with the audience to help us dispel today?
So first and foremost, Lynn, it is something to reiterate what you're saying about writing your lessons and your goals down. People seldom do that. Fewer than 10% people have written down goals, and it is amazing how much the statistical evidence shows you you are more likely to achieve goals that you write down. So I love that you are encouraging that. Some of the common misconceptions, well, the book is called Your Money Vehicle. And we said your because we wanted to be intentional about this is not Jed, this is not Lynn's, this is yours. But the money vehicle concept really shows us that we need to see money as a verb. So far and so often we see money as the noun, the focal point, the objective of why we go to work or what we do. Money is not the destination. You don't ask for $1 million because you want $1 million. You want the lifestyle you think that will bring. And so I really try to get people to see money differently and start to see it as that vehicle, as that verb that is going to take you to a destination. I love that we began with the verse, to seek first the kingdom. That is how you use money. If that is your destination, then the money becomes an employee or an asset of yours to achieve in that destination. And so that is one of the biggest misconceptions is stop focusing on money as the subject, start seeing it as the vehicle. And then the other ones, some of the ones we identify in the money vehicle course is the idea around credit cards. One of the first mistakes, and we're talking about how do we go from level 1 to level 2, is the understanding around compound interest and why credit card payments are so exponentially detrimental to your plan. I liken it to running out of oil in a real vehicle, as the credit trap is your oil tank on your money vehicle. And then the last one would be a misconception around how to go about investing. And so many think you have to be the smartest or most strategic person in the room. We really try to simplify and empower people to say, investing today, because of brilliant minds like Jack Bogle and Vanguard, because of them, we now have resources and tools available to us that can make us part owners of every publicly traded company, not only in the United States, but in the world. And with those kinds of tools, you don't have to be the smartest person in the room. You just have to, like you said, go out and earn your money, put it to work for you, and learn how to manage and protect it from there. And that's really what we want to get across is, although you didn't get this education in school, this is an education that you will be able to understand through digestible stories and analogies to empower you, give you that confidence to go and act upon it. So I really want to get away from the misconception that money is this mysterious thing we can't get a hold of. Everyone can control their financial plan.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. So you mentioned a couple of the money gurus, right?
Yes.
In that explanation, will you share with us, some of your favorite readings or books around money that you have?
Absolutely. So, it's hard not to highlight this book, even though with some recent transgressions. Rich Dad, Poor Dad changed my life. That was one of the books I read my rookie year, and it introduced me to the mindset shift of what an investor looks like. That being said, I now get to poke holes in that book and say it didn't give me any actions. And what we wanted to do in Your Money Vehicle is each chapter give you a series of actions to go take. Dave Ramsey, Susie Orman have been great influences. And truly, I look at them now and say, hey, somebody needs to replace them. Why not Lynn? Why not Jedediah? So we're coming for you, Dave. And then a great comprehensive book, because I fear so many personal finance books have such an investment focus. I really liked A Simple Plan to Wealth by Jed Collins, not because we share the last name, no relation to my knowledge, but because it did have a little bit more of a holistic lens. As I mentioned earlier, 10 different topics, 10 different chapters around money. Is one of them investment focused? Absolutely. But I really believe you need to understand insurance. You need to understand taxes. You need to understand cybersecurity. Why? Because all of those impact your freedom. And that is truly what we're driving towards, is your financial freedom.
Oh, I love that. I love that you share also that there are different things you need to be aware of, including life insurance, including, can I add in there, estate planning, right?
Absolutely.
Understanding the implications of taxes and things of that nature. That's a holistic picture. Once you get all of that in place, you truly have a holistic picture, right, of what growing your finances look like, what making, keeping, and growing that looks like, and how do you build that legacy for your family to have true financial freedom. So I want to go back to your book a little bit more. Can you walk us through the process? So how did you come to your money vehicle? How did you come to actually sitting down, writing that, getting it out on paper, and pushing that forward?
So it began about 5 or 6 years ago. I went back actually to my university, Washington State University, go Cougs, very proud alumni. And I said, hey guys, I'm a CFP, I'm working in wealth management. I want to come in, I want to teach a class. And I came in, I dropped some knowledge on them. I gave them 5 to 10 things that I thought was just, this is brilliant. And what I came to realize was every one of those went over their heads. I was teaching a level 5 course, and I was talking to level 1 students. And so it really was going out and delivering hundreds. I've delivered hundreds of financial workshops over the last few years. And I've been able to whittle down, well, where is the level 1? If I want you to get to level 10, so level 10 in your money vehicle is what is your best advantage as a young professional from a vehicle standpoint. I want you to understand this concept, but to get there, you need chapter 7, you need chapter 5, you need chapter 3, you back into it. And so that's where I began to reverse engineer how to write this book. And then where I enjoyed and the real fun came was, I can't walk out and beat you over the head with compound interest. We all have heard that word. We've all kind of understand it. What I focused on and what I challenged myself and our team to do was, how can we do that creatively? How can we create characters? How can we create stories? How can we have some fun and be entertaining? And if you see some clips from the Driving Your Money Vehicle online course, we try to make money as entertaining as possible. And I really test some of my acting skills and even 1 or 2 of my singing skills. But the idea is, money is not this thing that is going to confine us. It is supposed to be something that empowers us to enjoy the rest of our lives. And that's what we wanted to do, is not just educate, but we knew if we can give you a smile while you're in the process of this, you're going to come back tomorrow and continue down the road. So that was where we really took it to a whole nother level, was the focus on stories to make it more understandable and digestible, and then the real secret of actions. I have yet to see a book that says, go do this as a takeaway. And that is what we are standing upon, is saying, if you go through this course, are you going to be set, ready to kick up your heels and walk through the rest of life? No, not yet, but you'll have taken the first 10 steps to get there. And that, to me, is something that people can show up for, have as a goal, and then come back for level 2.
Awesome, awesome. So speaking of stories, what's your favorite character? You got to share it with us.
Wow. So we had a really good time. I got to be a game show host. I got to be a detective. I got to be the goofy, geeky guy from high school. There's a Cajun mechanic from New Orleans. I put on a wig and I start to sing. So we tried to keep people guessing. We tried to keep people entertained. But each story has a very direct intention around what the message is. And even though we're making you smile and bringing you in and saying, okay, this isn't so bad, you are understanding the concepts. I believe probably the most, I don't want to say important, but the most widely liked story is around how we break down stocks and bonds through a lemonade stand, and then how we introduce mutual funds and index funds through that same lemonade stand analogy. And it's because people walk away, and I actually this offseason have delivered to a few NFL teams where 22-year-old NFL players have stopped me and said, listen, People are hounding me about this stuff. They know I got the money now. You're the first one that has really made me understand this topic, and I really appreciate it. And so that's what gives me the encouragement to be like, all right, I don't know where I'm headed, but I'm headed down the right road.
Awesome. Awesome. I love it, guys. So Jed, we thank you so much for joining in and having this conversation with us as we're moving our money vehicles, as you're moving your money vehicle. Share with us, how do we contact you if someone wants to get in, work with you or join the course or just have a consultation?
So I'm on all social media, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Jedediah Collins, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Jed Collins 45. You can go to my website at jedediahcollins.com. Your Money Vehicle, the paperback and ebook is on Amazon. And again, I would highly, highly encourage and welcome students to say, I will take the online course. I'll watch a 5-minute video a day for, for a few weeks and really get the empowerment around money. And it then followed up with the questions and the actions that are going to bring my plan to fruition. So you can access that through any of the social medias and especially the website. So I would love, love, love feedback, thoughts, ideas on how to make this story and this message get to the people that need it. We are in high schools, we are in colleges, we are in trade schools and community schools. So if you have an idea or a resource, by all means, reach out and let us know about it.
Awesome, awesome. Well, we appreciate you so much, Jed, for stopping by and having this conversation with us. And guys, go check him out. Join the course. If you missed it in July, I'm sure it'll be happening again. Make sure that you connect and get on the money vehicle with us. Drive your money vehicle down the path you want to go, but at least get in the vehicle, all right? So guys, we thank you so much for tuning in for Financial Confidence. We want to hear your money success story. So send us a message. Call us at 470-236-8282 or email us your story at financialconfidence2020@gmail.com. That's financialconfidence2020@gmail.com. We thank you so much for tuning in for this episode. We'll see you next week, the same time, the same station. Until then, you stay safe.